Hi, today I want to show you how to make this beautiful boa scarf. It uses a stitch called a fur stitch, and you can see it makes these amazing loops that are a great way to feature novelty or textured yarns. This size that would be a collar or a cowl takes one ball of my Be So Wild yarn that I make by hand here in Florida. And then if you wanted to make a traditional boa length, you'll need 2 balls of Be So Wild yarn. I'm using an M crochet hook, which is 9mm, and we're going to be using a chain stitch, a single crochet through the back loop, and what they call a fur stitch. So let's get started. We're going to start by tying our yarn onto our crochet hook. If you prefer a slip knot, go for it. I prefer a solid knot. And we're going to be working in the round, but first we start with a chain 11. So we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we're going to be working in the round, so you want to pull your chain all the way around, making sure not to twist it, and slip stitch into the first chain like that. So now we have a ring. We're going to chain 1, and now okay, so now we did our chain 1. We're going to insert our hook into that same chain like we were going to start a single crochet, only we're going to wrap the yarn, working yarn, around our middle finger and then pull that elongated loop and then grab both loops behind it and pull through the chain. Okay, and now we're going to drop that loop, grab our working yarn, and yarn over, pull through 2. So we're doing a single crochet stitch but adding this elongated loop in the middle of it. Okay, so it's going to sit to the back of our work. We're going to insert our hook in the next chain. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop that's wrapped around our fingers so we have this loop sitting out, and then pull both loops through, drop the elongated loop, grab the working yarn, and yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so now we have 2 elongated loops on the back side of our work. Show you them. They're, I can grab one, but I can't grab both. Okay, let's set it down, then you can see. Okay, see how they're both to the back of the work now? Okay, so we're going to do that again. Insert our hook into the next chain, pull a loop with our fingers in our left hand, and then work behind that and grab a loop while leaving that loop on your fingers so you're keeping it snagged, so to speak, on your fingers behind. Then you want to drop that loop once you pull the 2 threads through, and then yarn over, pull through 2 with the working yarn, and that leaves that elongated loop on the back side. So we'll do that again. I'm just going to continue doing it really slowly so you can get the idea. And you'll be surprised how quickly you pick this up once you get some practice at it. Because what you want to do ultimately is be able to grab the yarn long with your middle finger, pull through 2 loops behind it, then drop that loop and grab the working yarn to finish your pull through 2. Now that step looks really graceful the way I've done it right now, but I've done it multiple times. When I first started doing it, I did it in 2 steps, so I'll show you that next. We're going to insert, grab the yarn, pull a loop of 2 loops behind the loop that's snagged on our middle finger. Now I said I just dropped that, so what I'm going to do is drop it, hold it down, then pick up my working yarn and pull through 2. And done in a second step like that, it's fine. It works totally fine. And what's going to happen is once you get going on this, you'll be able to do it in one fluid movement. Okay, so we'll go to our next chain. Snag our yarn with a loop in our middle finger, then grab the yarn behind it, grab both loops of it, pull it through the chain, drop the loop, grab our working yarn, and pull through 2. Insert our hook in the next chain. Snag our working yarn with our middle finger so that we pull the loop behind that big loop. Grab both loops, pull through 2. Do it again. Okay, we're coming to the end of our round. And then I don't know if you've worked in the round before, but let me show you what that, in the round without joining. And what that means is instead of slip stitching at the end of this round and starting the next round, we're just going to continue on as though it's one infinite round. So we've got one more chain for this round here, and then I'll show you what we do to start the next round. Okay, so now we've got all of our chains with a loop in them. See, our loops are started on the back side. And then just to show you what that looks like on the finished one, this would have been the first round. So see how it just totally covers that starting chain. They just start all dangling down. It's so pretty. I love it. It feels great too. So now we're ready to start our second round, which means we're going to be working through the back loop only of our stitches. And if you can see here, here's the top of our single crochet. It has the back loop and the front loop. For the rest of the scarf, we're going to be working through the back loop only. If we were doing a regular single crochet, we'd be working through both of those loops. We're not going to, though. We're going to work through the back loop only. So we're going to insert in the back loop only. We're going to continue doing our first stitch. So you want to snag the yarn with your middle finger on your left hand, pull both that loop and the working yarn through the back loop only, and then yarn over and pull through both of those loops. And that's it. Can you believe it? We're done with the tutorial. This is what you're going to now repeat until you run out of yarn. If you do one ball, you'll make that cowl-sized or collar-sized piece. And if you do 2 balls, you'll have an amazing boa that doesn't have feathers. No animals were harmed in making it, but it will be fabulous and fancy and wild.